汇集天下大事，聚焦华人热点。西雅图中文电台网络电视。
Because the negotiation of the contract was Boeing, he was 2 days late. Well, he arrived that night. I gave him a bottle of Leonardo wine. Any of you in this audience seat, you guys tried the Leonardo wine in the past? Yeah, I see a couple of heads. They're nodding there. The Leonardo wine is made in Washington, Walla Walla, you know. It's a great Washington wine. So I gave a bottle of wine. We had an inventory at our Shanghai office. So to our governor, he said, "Wow, you kidding me?" We opened the bottle. He said, "Either it's real or knockoff." I said, "Governor, come on." Yeah. He said, "Well, I heard a lot of products here in China is knockoff." Anyway, so I said, "This is directly exported from Port of Seattle. We brought it from Port of Shanghai. It's real." Anyway, he really enjoyed the wine. My second thing about, what I want to share is that besides having a vision, you got to, as an executive, you got to have a team there to share your vision. If we don't have a team to share your vision, there's no way you can executing your vision and then deliver your results. And I feel very fortunate, last 22 years, from our East Coast to California to Washington, we have a great team in place. Without those guys, did not matter what kind of vision I had, and does not matter, right? So all my managers have been worked so hard. But the last thing I want to share is that no matter how successful you are, you gotta remember the community you live in. So you gotta engage in the community. You have to give back to the community you're doing business with. So that's one of the areas I still try to improve. And my wife and I, we finally made an agreement about 4 years ago. The agreement is this: no matter how much money we make every year, we must donate 20% of our net income to our community. So our attorney has been helped us wrote something up, and so far we have been sticking with the vision. So that's something I wanted to share. Last 22 years, what I learned. The last part is an interesting part, guys. I do want to touch a little bit. Because of the time, I only have 5 minutes left, so I don't want to hold your dinner. So I will touch a little bit. So when Jesus asked me to talk about the U.S.-China trade relation, because I am in the frontier, every day that's what I do, U.S.-China trade, and every day we probably bring in probably 20-foot or 40-foot containers of merchandise from Shanghai and Shenzhen and Hong Kong. Some parts still from Taiwan to U.S. In the meantime, we try to, another way around, exporting, Washington-made products to China as well, as I told you guys earlier. So currently, I hold this position as one of the board of directors at Washington State-China Relations Council. And what we do at the Washington State-China Relations Council is that we try to bridge the gap between China and the U.S. and try to balance the trade and try to, make sure that, between U.S. and China, they always become friends instead of an enemy. It's not an easy job because, people in America, a lot of people have not been to China. And vice versa, a lot of Chinese, even leaders, have not been to America because they have not been really truly understand the culture difference. So there are some kind of understanding about the cultures and beliefs, the kind of things. Everybody, entitled to have their beliefs. So I'm kind of very glad, Washington State-China Relations Council, their mission is to try to bridge the gap. So I'm not very active with the council? Bad. I have been trying my best attending every monthly the board meetings and try to voice out about my opinions. And the trip with the governor to China really was a push. Overall, I feel like currently the President Trump's administration tended to be more protective, more protections about the U.S. economy and the American jobs. Well, I don't blame him because he's the president of America. He got to say things like that, right? And now elections are over bad. He's going to meet our president of China. I believe it's next week. Am I right? I read the news. Next week, President Xi Jinping going to meet Trump in Florida. But overall, I feel like that President Trump so far has been launched some investigation about China trade. Our company last week, we received probably 20 pages of documentation in the category about anti-dumping duty on Chinese-made pencils. So I got a phone call from the U.S. Treasury and U.S. Customs. They explained the purpose of this investigation, not against our company. They basically talk about it, wanted your true perspective about it, the cost of pencil made in China, the cost in the U.S., and why we have to importing pencils from China, and whether it's a time when we should eliminate the anti-dumping duty. Any of you in this room know what's the anti-dumping duty rate on pencils? I know you guys are engineers and you probably don't know that. The anti-dumping duty rate is 146%. It's unbelievable. Let's say the pencil is a 4 penny or 5 penny. When the pencil come into Port of Seattle, we have to pay 146% duty. And that's on top of the regular duty. So I feel like that, whether it's a anti-dumping duty on Chinese-made goods or regular duty, President Trump's talked about it, 45%.
Changing very, very quickly. So good evening, my name is Jeff Dubin, and as Ray mentioned, I'm the manager of the FAA Aircraft Certification Services Transport Airplane Directorate. Thank you for inviting me to join you today. I'm honored to be here among experts engaged in conversations that explore and advance the future of our aviation industry. Today, we're here to talk about the future of the aerospace industry. I think for many of us in the room, there's an underlying passion that brings us together, not just for aviation, but for aviation safety. We all share a common commitment to assure the safe continued operation of products in the national airspace system, and together we will ensure the industry thrives well into the future. The result of the partnership between government and industry is a truly remarkable level of safety. So as we consider the future of the aerospace industry today, I'd like to take a moment to revisit the past. Back in the 1920s, the aviation industry was struggling. It appeared that flying would never be widely accepted as a viable means of transportation. Why? Because at that time, flying was risky. Aviation had an unacceptable safety record, and fatal accidents were routine. Can you go to the next slide, please? The public was concerned about poorly designed, poorly built, poorly repaired, and poorly operated aircraft. At that time, they were right. The public needed assurance that flying could be done safely. Based on this experience, the government became more involved in improving and maintaining aviation safety standards. This resulted in the establishment of the Civil Aeronautics Authority, the predecessor to the FAA. That action was critical to the development of air commerce in the United States. Since then, the industry and government have worked together to earn the public trust and the safety record we are proud of today. If you can go to the next slide, please. Encouraged by the safest decade in aviation, the public's trust and reliance on air transportation has grown. In response, industry has evolved. Technology is rapidly advancing, and the aviation industry is becoming more and more globalized. However, the better we do, the greater the expectation. Today, both industry and the FAA are being asked to do more faster and without error. As a regulator, we have limitations. The FAA is not equipped to handle the depth and the breadth, the sheer expanse of an industry that stretches around the globe. And there simply will never be enough federal employees to carry out this massive undertaking. Fortunately, this is where you come in. Go to the next slide, please. Safety is a shared responsibility, not a solitary journey. But while industry and the regulators want the same ultimate outcome, a safe product, we have different imperatives. For the FAA, it is compliance with the regulations, and for industry, it is to remain competitive and to get products to market faster. The key is to find ways to be more sensitive and responsive to industry's schedule and needs without sacrificing compliance. We need to understand and respect each other's perspectives and work together to meet these imperatives. Looking back, aviation history illustrates that too little regulatory involvement can lead to more accidents because of an inadequate safety program. And I think all of us in this room can agree, too much regulatory involvement hampers the development and installation of innovative safety enhancements. Too little or too much involvement both can increase the risk of accidents. So we need to strive for a balance between the needs of industry and the public's demand for confidence in air transportation. To ensure the FAA has an appropriate level of involvement,